Biodiversity and its conservation. So we know the biodiversity is very important. The biodiversity, it is also refers to as the biological diversity, means all the biological form of the entire this ecosystem, how diverse they are. So biodiversity, it refers to the variety of the life on this planet Earth, which encompasses the variety of species, ecosystem is there. Okay, the genetic diversity is there. So means the diversity on the base at the level of the species, at the level of the um, genetic, and at the level of the ecosystem. So this biodiversity is very much essential for the health as well as for the stability of the ecosystem, and it provides the numerous benefits to the human society. And there are basically the three types, or we can say the levels of the biodiversity. The first one is the genetic diversity. So a genetic diversity means a single species which shows the highest diversity at the genetic level, which is distributed over a particular range. Okay, so that is known as the genetic diversity, or it may refers to the variety of the genes within a particular species. Suppose this is a species of particular individual, so there may be a chances of variety of genes are present of that particular species, and this genetic diversity is very much essential for the crucial, or we can say it is very much essential for the adaptations as well as for the survival of the species over a time. So greater the genetic diversity, it allows the species to evolve as well as to adapt to the changes in the environmental conditions, when the disease or some happening or some casualties occurs to the ecosystem, and some other changes. So as the genetic diversity is large, so the more the species are adapted to that particular environment. It also provides the raw material for the breeding program. For example, the if we want to breed a particular species, we must know the genes of that particular species. So the raw material they provide for the breeding program, and also they enhance the resilience of the crop as well as the lifestyle. Okay, so the gene or the genetic variation, it is for example, it is shown by the medicinal plants, which is known as the raw wolfia, raw wolfia wormi vomitoria. Okay, so this is means the genetic variation, it is shown by this plant which is growing in a different Himalayan ranges, might be in terms of their potency as well as the concentration of the active chemical, that is the pine that this plant particular produces. So India has more than 50,000 genetically different strains of the rice as well as the thousands variety of the mango. So this is how the importance of this genetic diversity. So species diversity, next one is the species diversity, means the diversity at the level of the species, and species particularly in a particular habitat, we can say, or on a earth as a whole. So the high level of the species diversity, it contributes to the ecosystem stability as well as the resilience, and each species they play a very unique role in the ecosystem, and the loss of the species can have the cascading effect on the entire ecosystem. Cascading effect means, suppose if one species is lost from the particular environment, then the species which is dependent on the particular species which has already been lost will be lost in the near future or some, and similarly the other species which are depending on the another species which are now going to extinct or which are now going to lose. So in that way, the species diversity is very important because they may have the cascading effect on the entire ecosystem. Like the Western Ghat, they have the greater biodiversity because they have the high range of the amphibian species diversity than the Eastern Ghats. So this is the main difference of the species diversity, because the Western Ghat have the higher species of the amphibian with that of the Eastern Ghat. The third one is the ecosystem diversity, means the diversity at the ecosystem, or it may refers to as the variety of the ecosystem in a given particular area on the earth. Suppose this is a particular area or the habitat, so the variety of ecosystem may be present in that particular area. Suppose they are marine ecosystem, there is a forest ecosystem, the different animals are present, the different forests are present, the flora fauna means all are very different. So this ecosystem also play a very important role. Why? Because they provide a lot of services such as air, they provide the water purification, the climate regulations, the habitat for the numerous species. So this ecosystem diversity, they enhances the overall ecological health as well as the functions of the ecosystem. India, for examples, with its desert is there, the rainforest is there, mangrove is there, coral reef, wetland, estuary. So these actually shows the greater ecosystem diversity than the Scandinavian country like the Norway, because India has a diverse ecosystem range. So these are the different three levels, or we can say the three types of the biodiversity. Next is, what is the importance of this biodiversity? We are always keep on saying that biodiversity is there, we need to conserve is. So why? Means what is the importance of this biodiversity and why we need to conserve? So first one is the medicinal and the pharmaceutical. So we know the biodiversity provide a wide range of the ecosystem services that are essential for the well-being of both the natural environment as well as for the human society. So the uses are very diverse and they cover the various aspects of the human life. So here are the some importance of this biodiversity. The first one is the medicinal and the pharmaceutical, means the many plant and many animals are there which are the sources of the medicinal compound. The biodiversity, they provide a vast array of the natural product which are used in the traditional medicine and also in the development of some pharmaceutical drug. For example, the plant like the rosy periwinkle, they have contributed to the development of the cancer drug. Next is the agriculture and the food security. Obviously, the biodiversity is very much critical for the agriculture because it includes a variety of the crops, a variety of the livestock, and also the wide relatives of the cultivated plant. So, the genetic diversity within the species, they